Part 2 of 10 myths people believe about their church. Continuing on, starting with myth number 4. Myth number 4, the church has enough help. It does. You see the same smiling face as you drive into the parking lot every Sunday. You are waved to, and then 5 minutes later, you walk into an air-conditioned lobby where someone greets you, places a piece of paper in your hand, and or helps you find a seat. It's the same buddy face who takes your child by the hand and walks them into class every week. And another familiar voice makes announcements, sings songs, and delivers a message. The fact that it's the same faces week after week would suggest one thing, that a small percentage of people are serving on the weekend. Most churches will gladly accept more help. Many are in desperate need of it. And it's one thing I started saying several years ago, and I will say this, adding to part of that is, ask not what your church can do for you. You ask what you can do for your church. Myth number 5. The church cares only for its own. One look at any church budget will dispel this myth. Most churches, if they are led well, have an enormous desire to impact their city, nation, and the world. While there may be groups for new moms, adopted moms, empty nester moms, and grandmas, there are probably just as many mothers outside the walls of the church who are being impacted by its presence. Most churches have programs to feed, clothe, and shelter the needy within the community, and others partner with and or raise funds for local organizations, law enforcement, and charities that exist to help the city. When catastrophe strikes, the church rallies. When needs arise globally, the church digs deep. When missionaries step off a plane in a foreign country, it is often with the support and financial provision of a local church. Myth number 6. The church is good at creating community. Many people get turned off once they recognize that many churches are not good at creating community, especially the instant kind that our culture craves. They walked in with high expectations and didn't receive the red carpet welcome they had played over and over in their minds. They figured that being a believer was enough of a common ground to establish solid relationships, and they didn't plan on having to seek people out. The truth is that most churches may have a solid small group program in place with the intent to help people from relationships, but newcomers often need more than to be placed in a group with 8 strangers. The best relationships tend to grow organically and over time, which is not what many want to admit. Instead of pointing fingers, maybe the question should be asked, what part did I play in making connections and building community? Myth number 7. The church is full of old people or young people. It's difficult to know from a quick glance at a website what kind of church community you're going to find. Many see flashes of young married families, all with perfect Colgate smiles, and children who look eager to be in service on the weekend. But what you encounter in real life is that 50% of the church demographic is 30 years older or younger than you are. While that may be shocking and provide some challenges, the truth remains that we need people of all ages and stages in our lives. As young singles and newly married people, you need the older generations to share their wisdom and experience. And those who are in the years of passing on and to the next generation, you should be actively seeking out those to pour into. And because the way my cell phone is, now I got to make a part 3 because it doesn't let me record after like 5 or 6 minutes. So please now go on to part 3 of 10 myths people believe about their church.